Welcome into A Toast of Film. I'm one of your hosts, Ebo, and it would appear that I don't have anybody. I wonder if I can summon a co-host for this week.
Choo choo, choo choo.
Oh my god! Complete with a new intro. Jerffy Choo Choo in the house. Jerf, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Eddie. It's good to be back in town for 2 weeks for the holidays.
He drove up from beautiful Florida. Very sunny, very nice.
Well, not when I left. It was cloudy.
Oh, see, there you go. Had to get out of there. Had to come to beautiful Georgia. We know things. Where the dog's at. Where Texas sucks.
That's right.
But, guys, Jerf is here because we literally, Jeff, just got out of the theater.
Yes.
From seeing Sonic 3. So we're going to be reviewing that. And Jeff actually... he's committed to the cause. He has never seen the Sonic movies until this week, so we'll hear from that. First, though, we got some unfinished business. Number one, we had Mr. Snail's pick of the week, which was our final Christmas pick, which was Annabelle's Wish. So this is like a straight DVD movie, Jeff, about this little cow named Annabelle, and she wants to be a reindeer. She wants to fly.
Cow.
The cow wants to be a reindeer because she wants to fly with Santa. And because every Christmas Eve, Santa comes to the farm and he sprinkles dust on the animals so that they can talk.
Okay, I don't know where you find these movies.
Dude, it was one I always saw. I think I always rented it at like Movie Gallery or something. But Annabelle's Wish, it's from Roy Wilson, who also was the writer of Nine Dogs Christmas. You got Jim Varney. Ernest is one of the voices. Cloris Leachman, Jerry Van Dyke, Clancy Brown. So, some good voices. I don't know if it holds up for kids nowadays, but for me, it provides some nice nostalgia. It's cute. The little cow Annabelle she's just a precious little thing. And I really enjoyed it. So Annabelle's Wish, I would say, is in the 3.5 cheers range because I think for me, the nostalgia holds up. The animation is good. The voices are good. And it's just a sweet little Christmas movie. So check it out. Now, no new Mr. Snail's pick of the week this week because we got, the holidays are here. So we're taking a break. We will return in January with Mr. Snail's pick of the week. But I also saw last night Mufasa the Lion King. Jeff, you ever wonder how Mufasa came to be the, king of the everything?
No.
Yeah, nobody else did either. This is from Barry Jenkins, who's done If Beale Street Could Talk. We got Mufasa voiced by Aaron Pierre, who was in Rebel Ridge. Have you seen this? It's a good revenge movie on Netflix, like a revenge action movie.
I don't think so.
Very good actor. Kevin Harrison Jr. is Taka, who would become, get this, Scar. And then we also have Tiffany Boone as Sarabi, and Jeff couldn't believe it. Mads Mikkelsen is Kyros.
Yes, Eddie played me
the villain,
the song that he sings.
Bye-bye.
And I just couldn't. The song is ridiculously dumb.
The song is so bad.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And I could not guess who was singing it. I recognize the raspiness of the voice.
Yeah.
But because he was singing it, whenever somebody who's not American sings like an American song,
yeah,
they always just sound American. But I couldn't really hear the accent in his voice because whenever somebody sings, their accent goes away. And when Eddie told me it was Mads Mikkelsen, I was like, shut the front door.
Well, it's not just that, but even when I played it for Jeff, me fully knowing this is Mads, re-listening to it, I'm still like, there's something about... I have a conspiracy. I don't think Mads sang the song. I think he was the voice of the character, But I think
It does sound kind of like him, though.
it sounds like him, but it's so off-putting for somebody who's always, has such this reserve in the way he talks to go, bye-bye.
Because I don't know if Mads Mikkelsen can sing.
I don't either.
But from when the guy who was singing like the bye-bye part and the parts before and after that, you could tell he wasn't really trained. But then there were other parts in the song where I'm like, this guy sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Mads Mikkelsen can sing like that. And again, I've never heard him sing.
True.
So maybe he can. Maybe that's me being presumptuous.
Hey, we're not dissing Mads Mikkelsen.
No,
as good an actor as he is, it wouldn't surprise me if he could sing. But it's just very off-putting when you're like, Mads Mikkelsen, because first you're like, wait, Mads Mikkelsen is in The Lion King? And then you're like,
it's in voice actors.
True. But you know what I mean. But we also had John Connie back as Rafiki, Billy Eichner back as Timon, Seth Rogen back as Pumbaa. This movie, I'll say two things, and they're two very different things. One, I think the movie is actually good. The visuals are good. The story is great. I like Mufasa in this movie. I will say this. So I went with some buddies of mine, Tyson, Christy, and Sean, and we all agreed on one thing. These songs are terrible. I mean, the one I played you, Jeff, that might be the best song from the movie. And
that's kind of hard to. That's kind of hard to.
That's what I'm saying. Bad. If that's the best song, Jeff, you see what I'm saying? Because we all agreed, we were like, that's probably the best song. Just because at least like it's somewhat, even as goofy and bad as it is, bye-bye. Like it's kind of catchy at points.
I guess so. I mean,
Jeff, I'm telling you,
you have no taste at all in anything.
You haven't heard the other songs.
I don't plan on it.
Low bar, Jeff. But Mufasa Lion King, I would put it also at around a 3.5. I think it's maybe, you know what? No, I think I'm gonna actually go just a 3.
But if you're saying the songs were that bad and you
gave
it a 3.5,
I was thinking about the movie, but then I was thinking about you have to sit through those songs, and let me tell you, man. So, there was a couple of them where I was like, especially one very early on, where I was like, oh no, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna be a movie I can sit through, but we made it. Mufasa, it gets a 3 for me, which, as y'all know, that's my passing scale. That means it did everything that you want from a movie.
When did Mufasa come out, Eddie? Did it come out this weekend?
It literally came out yesterday.
Okay.
Mufasa and Sonic, double feature if you want to see talking animals.
I want to look up what the Rotten Tomatoes score were. Of like the critics when they're in the.
I think.
To see if it's out yet.
Well, while Jeff's checking that, we're about to get into our Sonic 3, fun, and we're toasting with very appropriate blue moons. Not only because they're blue, but also because the moon.
57% on critics so far.
Okay, we don't have the audience. Mufasa's at a 57%.
So maybe the Lion critics IP gives it a bump.
Hey, we've seen some crazy ones. What was the one you were telling me about? Where was it Red One?
Red One, yeah.
Where critics were like a 50?
It was worse than that. I think it was like a 30.
But audience was like at 90 something.
Because you told me it was like really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I looked it up. Then I was reading some reviews about it, and the reviews were kind of negative. So I was like, "Is this really a good movie?" Because
telling you, Red One's fun.
I saw some comments where it was like Chris Evans is obviously supposed to be played by Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
the jokes were more his style, but maybe I'll watch it one of these days.
But we're here to talk about a certain blue hedgehog, Jeff.
That's right.
We got our blue moons. We're ready. But before we get to 3, you did a little journey this week where you watched Sonic 1 and 2. So just give us a very quick summary of your thoughts, because that was your thoughts leading into you going tonight to see Sonic 3.
Yes. I watched them while I was working remote, and if my manager was listening to this, I was really, really working and not spending most of my time watching the movies.
He was working so hard.
really hard. I really like the movies. The
Mhm.
first one, the second one. I probably would give the second one the edge a little bit.
Yeah.
Just because I think Knuckles was a really fun character that they introduced. He talks in kind of like the Drax way,
Mhm.
not as stupid, but just in like the sort of unstructured sentences. And so I think that part of it gave me the edge, and I really liked the wedding. Once they got to the wedding, I thought that was really fun, and I
Mhm.
liked what's her name, Rachel, the sister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really liked her character as well because she's just and her when she went Bridezilla, that was a lot of fun. I still like the first one. I still think it was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And I think they're just like a fun movie. I'm really glad they fixed the CGI because I don't think I would have seen it otherwise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably give the first one a 4.2, and the second Cheers, and the second one a 4.3 Cheers.
I'm probably sitting at first one a 4, second one a 4.3 as well. Second one, once you get Knuckles involved, it goes up some because Idris Elba, like Jeff saying, is just such a fun character as Knuckles. And thankfully, Knuckles is back because Sonic 3. So we still got Jeff Fowler directing the show, Ben Schwartz as Sonic, Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails, Idris Elba, sexiest man alive, as Knuckles, and Keanu Reeves, though, is the big one where he's introduced in this one as Shadow the Hedgehog.
Pretty much reminds me of his character from Cyberpunk as well, and Johnny Silverhand a little bit. Maybe it's just because his voice is so recognizable, but I think Keanu really nailed the Shadow character as well. They really casted him right.
Before the end, so like early on, Sonic or Shadow had like just a couple of lines, and you're like, man, they got Keanu Reeves for this. Like he's doing a good job, but
Keanu doesn't need to say a lot of lines to
true.
get
But then at the end, he got his moment to shine. And of course, Jim Carrey's back as Robotnik, and this time we get double the Robotnik because we get old man Robotnik.
That's right,
Granddaddy Robotnik. Jim Carrey, he does not care about Hollywood anymore, but he loves these Sonic movies.
He really does. He had a blast. You could just tell him he's making the movie. You can feel like he just really enjoys the character and just making the character as well.
There was one part where he gets these like mantis claws, and he's like, mantis claws, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen this kind of Jim since like Ace Ventura or something.
Yeah, it really brings back to his classic sort of wacky, but like good wacky, silly faces and characters and sort of a demeanor.
So this movie, the open is very good. You get the middle, which
the middle to me was kind of rough. I think I think they were trying to do too much because
they had a lot going on.
Because it feels like you went straight from this, then this, then this, then this. It felt like there was no sort of break where they just talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Not really a lot of. There is a little bit of an exposition dump, but I feel like there could have been more. And I feel like there were a lot more montages in this one as well, which I think threw me off a little bit as well, because throughout the entire first half, you get a lot of montages with, I think you get some montages with the main characters, then you get some montages with Shadow, and I think they sort of put those montages with Shadow throughout the entire movie, which maybe threw off the pacing a little bit.
Yeah, because it's this technique that I'm not always the biggest fan of when they do in Hollywood, where, okay, we're going to show you the same scene multiple times, but we're not going to show you the full version till the end.
Yeah.
So we're like laying this thought in your head, so then at the end we can be like, oh, look, this is what the full scene looks like. And they did that with him, with his past and what kind of drove him dark. What's cool about these movies, though, no matter what happens, these movies know how to end a movie. Because this one, I thought I was watching Goku and Vegeta for a moment.
Really? You really did. And I thought I was watching Goku and Vegeta in the second one, but now it's like,
yeah.
Well, maybe the second one was more like Goku versus Frieza.
Yeah.
And this one is more like Goku and Vegeta in like the Majin Buu saga.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's fun. You have a good time. Like some of the people, our theater was moderately full, but wasn't packed.
No, yeah, it wasn't like packed. It wasn't like sold out, but it was a pretty good crowd.
There were some Sonic fans though, because I could hear them at points, woo, like cheering and stuff. Movie's fun. I will tell you this: there are 2 credit scenes. The one at the very, very end, I think honestly you don't have to wait for.
No, I don't think so, because if you know what the IP is, and you know how much money it makes, you can sort of guess where they're going to go with it.
But the first credit scene's really cool, and no spoiler on who, but if you notice, every single Sonic, they do a teaser at the end for what character's being added next. Sonic 1, okay, Tails is coming. Sonic 2, okay, Knuckles is coming. Sonic 3, they're showing, not Knuckles is coming, Shadow's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sonic 3, we're introduced another character. So if we get a 4, I'm interested where they're going, because they introduced 2 characters, one type of character and then one complete character.
Mm-hmm.
And very excited.
Yeah, me too, because I don't really know much about the Sonic IP. I don't really play the games. I only play the games at like an after school program where somebody had a Sega Genesis, and we would play the games there. And there's only one character there's only one game. The only characters we could play were the 3 main ones in the movie: Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. And I don't think the one they tease at the end of this one, I don't think they were in the games. I could be wrong. It was, so long ago.
Could have been from a game. Could have been from the series.
But
from
the character
90s.
Does seem vaguely familiar, though.
Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen them before.
I made a joke to Jeff, like when we were driving to the theater. I was like, "Hey, wasn't there a blank, character?"
And I was like, "I think so."
Yeah,
I vaguely remember that kind of character existing in the franchise, but vaguely being an overstatement, because vaguely is, I don't really remember that much because I don't know about Family IP, but I can kind of vaguely a little bit remember that kind of character existed.
Well, look, Jeff, it's late, so let's go ahead. Let's get these Cheers reviews in, and then let's get out of here, big dog. What is your rating? So you already said 4.2, right, for Sonic 1, 4.3 for Sonic 2. Where does this lie on your Sonic scale?
I would probably go similar. I think the first half really took me out of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the pacing was a little bit off.
100%.
So I'm going to probably say 4.2.
4.2, okay. Solid.
But I would still put
over a 4. That's very solid.
I would still, the Goku Vegeta fight at the end sort of makes up for it, because that was pretty awesome. And not to mention them also fighting Robotnik as well.
Yeah.
At the same exact time. Robotniks, yes.
Yeah.
At the exact same time. So that sort of makes up for it a little bit. So I'll probably go 4.2.
So I'm kind of for Sonic 1 at a 4. Sonic 2, I definitely put like a 4.3, 4.4. That movie, I just think vast improvement on the first one. With this one, though, like Jeff's saying, you have so much issues with the bulk of the movie, the middle, the early to the middle to the late middle, where it does bring you down. But then that ending is just like, you're just like, yeah, that's what we want. But even then, I think I can't go higher than like a 3.9.
Oh, really?
I think I might even have to put this just a hair below the first one. Because when I'm thinking about it, this one I would pull up clips for, but I think I'd be more willing to watch 1 or 2 over this.
I might redo my rating and just give it a flat 4.
I mean, hey, that's still a 4 out of 5.
Because I do think I like the first one better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would probably give this one a flat 4, just so the rankings match up.
So there you go. So we're still, we're still putting it on a high pedestal. I mean, a 3.9 and a 4 out of 5.
It's still a good ride.
Good ride. That is, my man, that's the way to say it. But guys, we are at the end of the episode. We want to keep it short, snackable for y'all. But if you want to let us know what you think about Mufasa, maybe you have some conspiracies about Mads Mikkelsen singing Bye-Bye. Or if you want to tell us about Sonic the Hedgehog, they don't need little superlatives, little additive titles. They're like, you know what this is? Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Guess what this is called? Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Hey, you'll never guess what number 3 is going to be called.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3 Shadow Warriors.
Whoa, see? They didn't add that. We don't need that. But there's so many ways you can do it, but let me tell you the best ways. Check us out on Instagram and TikTok, A Toast to Film, all one word. Check us out on Twitter at film_toast. Or check us out on beautiful YouTube. You can see Jerffy Choo Choo. Jeff, show him the shirt. Look at this shirt. Look at this shirt.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you? That's all you need to know. But from Jeff and myself, we just wish you a good night and good viewing.